Today's flashback video is the top 10 grossing movies of Hollywood mainstay and famous Scientologist Mr. John Travolta. And firstly, we're going to look a little at the star himself, his biography and lifestyle, before we talk a little bit about each of those movies. As usual, if you like what you see, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then you could even subscribe to the channel. That would be great. Okay, so with that being said, let's do this. John Joseph Travolta is a famous actor and singer. He stands 6 foot 2 inches tall and weighs around 214 pounds. With blue eyes and, well, he's bald now, but he used to have very dark brown hair. According to Celebrity Net Worth, his personal fortune is a very respectable $250 million. Hopefully that's enough to keep his aircraft collection fully fueled up. John Travolta was born on February 18th, 1954 in Englewood, New Jersey. Even if I didn't already know, I think I could have guessed that. His father, Salvatore Sam Travolta, was a tyre salesman and business owner, whilst his mother, Helen Cecilia Berg, was an actress and teacher. John is the youngest child in what is a large family, with 2 brothers and 3 sisters, all of whom have joined him in the acting profession. It has to be said, though, that none have enjoyed the same level of success. His brothers are Sam and Joey, who was born in 1950. Then there are his sisters, Ellen, born in 1939, Margaret in 1946, and Anne, who came along in 1949. In 1991, Travolta married actress and model Kelly Preston, and they were together until she sadly passed away from breast cancer in 2020. 2 years after she had been diagnosed. But this is not the only tragedy that Travolta has suffered. He had been in a long-term relationship with actress Diana Hyland until she also died from breast cancer back in 1977. Then in 2009, his eldest son Jet died of a seizure while on vacation in the Bahamas. Jet was autistic and had suffered from Kawasaki disease since the age of 2. In addition to Jet, who was born in 1992, Travolta has 2 other children. Daughter Ella Blue was born in 2000, and then he had another son, Benjamin, in 2010. His most famous residence is the one at Jumbo Aviation Estates in Anthony, Florida, where he keeps his planes. But he also has properties on the island of Isla in Maine, Brentwood, California, and the upmarket region of Calabasas in California. John's car collection is no less impressive, with a mix of vintage and modern models, including Ford Thunderbirds from 1955, 56 and 57, a Jaguar XJ6, a Rolls-Royce Phantom, a 1970 Mercedes 280 SL, and a TVR Tuscan. For anybody who's interested, TVR is actually an abbreviation of Trevor, which was the first name of the original owner of the company. However, most of Travolta's money has undoubtedly gone on his aircraft collection, which includes 3 Gulfstream jets, a US Air Boeing 727, a Boeing 707, and a Bombardier Challenger 601. Having been raised as a Catholic, John subsequently converted to Scientology in 1975. John has yet to win an Academy Award, but has been nominated in the Best Actor category for both Saturday Night Fever and Pulp Fiction. He did win the Golden Globe for Best Actor for his performance in Get Shorty in 1996. And now we come to his biggest grossing movies of all time. Although there are 1 or 2 iconic movies here, you won't see any of those big budget money spinning franchise movies, and as a result the revenues won't be through the roof. When I tell you the number 1 movie was released way back in 1978, you'll see what I mean. In 10th place is Broken Arrow, one of those movies that was released following Travolta's comeback. It made $70 million in the United States and went on to gross a touch over $150 million worldwide. Travolta was joined by stars including Christian Slater, Samantha Mathis, Delroy Lindo and Bob Gunton, to name but a few. Filmed in Lake Powell, Utah, with a budget of around $50 million, the movie was directed by John Woo, produced by 20th Century Fox, and released in the USA on February 11th, 1996. Broken arrow is the term used to describe a nuclear device that has been lost. In this movie, 2 nuclear missiles are stolen by rogue US pilot Deakins, but hot on his trail is his co-pilot Hale and park ranger Terry. The action takes place in Utah's canyon country with a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. At number 9 comes the paranormal drama Phenomenon, co-starring Kyra Sedgwick, Forrest Whitaker, Robert Duvall and Jeffrey DeMunn. The movie grossed close to $105 million in the United States and went on to return nicely over $150 million worldwide. Filmed in Auburn, California on a budget in the region of $30 million, the movie was directed by John Turteltaub, produced by Touchstone Pictures and released in the USA on July 7, 1996.
Name as many mammals as you can in 60 seconds. Ready? Go.
60 seconds. Well, how would you like that? How about alphabetical? Aardvark, baboon, caribou, dolphin, eel, hippus, fox, gorilla, hyena, ibex, jackal, kangaroo, lion, marmoset, Newfoundland, ocelot, panda, rat, sloth, tiger, unicorn, marmot.
George Malley owns a local auto repair shop in a small California town. After celebrating his birthday with friends at the local bar, George heads for home. He pauses to watch a strange light in the sky, then collapses for a few seconds in the middle of a deserted street. In the days and weeks that follow, George finds his IQ and consciousness expanding dramatically and develops telekinetic abilities. Despite his attempts to explain what's happened to him, with just a very few exceptions, most of the local townspeople treat the new George as a freak. Next, we have a complete change of direction for Travolta, as he appears as Edna Turnblad in Hairspray. In this movie, he teams up with the likes of Queen Latifah, Nikki Blonsky, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Christopher Walken. Hairspray grossed almost $120 million at the box office in the USA, and went on to surpass $200 million worldwide. It had a filming budget of $75 million and was based in Ontario, Canada. Directed by Adam Shankman, produced by New Line Cinema, and released on July 22nd, 2007.
No one is auditioning for anything in this household.
But why not? Why not?
Dancing is not your future. One day you're gonna own Edna's Occidental Laundry.
I don't want to be a laundress. I want to be famous.
If you want to be famous, learn how to take blood out of car upholstery. That's a skill you can take right to the bank.
Hey, what's all this
Not a
rubbish?
word.
Tracy Turnblad, a teenager with all the right moves, is obsessed with the Corny Collins show. Every day after school, she and her best friend Penny run home to watch the show and drool over the hot Link Larkin, much to Tracy's mother Edna's dismay. After one of the stars of the show leaves, Corny Collins holds auditions to see who will be the next teen regular. With the help of her friend Seaweed, Tracy is chosen, angering evil dance queen Amber Von Tussle and her mother Velma. Next comes the iconic Tarantino movie that possibly announced Travolta's complete return to popularity, Pulp Fiction, another bloodthirsty and violent crime thriller in Tarantino's typical style. Travolta is joined by Uma Thurman, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis and Tim Roth, to mention but a few. In the USA, the box office gross of Pulp Fiction was close to $110 million, and worldwide it totaled almost $215 million. Directed, as I said, by Quentin Tarantino, the movie was filmed in Glendale, California, with a tiny budget of just $8 million. Just goes to show, you don't need a big budget to make a big impact. It was produced by Miramax and released in the USA on October 16th, 1994.
You gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped us?
Oh, what the fuck's happening? Oh, man.
Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident.
Oh, man, I seen some crazy-ass shit in my time, but this...
Chill out, man. I told you it was an accident. He went over a bump or
Hey, the
something.
car ain't hit no motherfucking bump.
Jules Winfield and Vincent Vega are two hitmen who are out to retrieve a stolen suitcase for their employer, mob boss Marcellus Wallace. Wallace has also asked Vincent to take his wife, Mia, out for a few days, later when Wallace himself will be out of town. Butch Coolidge is an aging boxer who is paid by Wallace to lose his fight. The lives of these seemingly unrelated people are woven together, comprising a series of funny, bizarre and uncalled for incidents. For the next movie, we go back to the start of Travolta's rise to fame with the glorious but gritty Saturday Night Fever. Not exactly a star-studded cast list, Travolta appeared alongside Karen Lynn Gorney, Barry Miller, Joseph Cali and Donna Pesco. The movie was filmed in Brooklyn, New York, with a budget of just $3 million. I mean, it was 1977, remember? Saturday Night Fever was directed by John Badham, produced by Paramount Pictures, and released in the USA on December the 18th, 1977. The movie grossed just under $95 million domestically, but close to $240 million worldwide.
You should have been a priest like your brother. You wouldn't worry about a job.
Yeah.
Every time you mention Frank Jr., you gotta cross yourself.
He's a priest, ain't he? Father Frank Jr., your brother.
Your mother doesn't have too much to cross herself about these days.
You're so jealous of Frank Jr.
Oh, shut up, will you?
19-year-old Brooklyn native Tony Manera lives for Saturday nights at the local disco, where he's king of the club, thanks to his stylish moves on the dance floor. But outside of the club, things don't look so rosy. At home, Tony fights constantly with his father and has to compete with his family's starry-eyed view of his older brother, a priest. Nor can he find satisfaction with his dead-end job at a small paint store. However, things begin to change when he spies Stephanie Mangano in the disco and starts training with her for the club's dance competition. At number 5, we come to the weirdly wonderful Face Off. Directed in California by John Woo with a budget of around $80 million, the movie co-starred Nicolas Cage, Joan Allen, Alessandro Nivola, and Gina Gershon. Face Off grossed more than $110 million at the box office in the USA and went on to top $245 million worldwide. It was produced by Touchstone Pictures and released on June 29, 1997. Sean Archer, a very tough, rugged FBI agent, is still grieving for his dead son Michael. Archer believes that his son's killer is his sworn enemy and a very powerful criminal, Castor Troy. One day, Archer has finally cornered Castor, however, their fight has knocked out Troy cold. As Archer finally breathes easier over the capture of his enemy, he finds out that Troy has planted a bomb that will destroy the entire city of Los Angeles and all of its inhabitants. Unfortunately, the only other person who knows its location is Castor's brother Pollux, and he refuses to talk. The number 4 movie is the wannabe biker fiasco, Wild Hogs. This road trip comedy has Travolta as the leader of a group of disillusioned middle-aged men and co-stars Tim Allen, Martin Lawrence, William H. Macy and Ray Liotta. It was filmed in Madrid, New Mexico, with a budget of $60 million. Directed by Walt Becker, The Wild Hogs was produced by Touchstone Pictures and released on March 4, 2007. The box office revenue reached almost $170 million domestically and close to $255 million worldwide.
Podiatrist, or ear, nose, and throat specialist.
I wish.
Orthodontist.
Oh, close enough.
And you, Bobby, guaranteed you're henpecked. Right? Your wife wears the pants.
You know my wife?
And you anal retentive wimp.
Wow, you're good. What color am I thinking of?
Shut up!
Four middle-aged men decide to take a road trip from Cincinnati to the Pacific in order to get away from their lives, which are leading them nowhere. Taking their motorcycles, these wild hogs tear up the road and eventually stop in New Mexico for a drink, not knowing that the bar belongs to the Del Fuegos, a mean biker gang. When the Del Fuegos steal a bike that belongs to the Wild Hogs, the four men form a plan to steal their bike back. The number 3 position is a sequel to a movie that didn't feature Travolta, Austin Powers in Goldmember. With a cast including Mike Myers, Beyoncé, Seth Green and Michael York, the movie was directed by Jay Roach in Utah with a budget of just over $60 million. It was produced by New Line Cinema and released in the USA on July 28, 2002, grossing almost $115 million domestically and close to $300 million worldwide.
The tractor beam went through several preparations. Preparations A through G were a complete failure. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have a working tractor beam, which we shall call Preparation H. What?
Why don't you just call it Operation Ass Cream, you ass?
He's found his mojo, baby, and now Austin Powers is back again in this shagadelic comedy adventure. The shh hits the fan when Dr. Evil and Mini-Me escape from prison. Joining forces with the super freaky Goldmember, they kidnap Austin's father, Master Spy Nigel Powers, in a dastardly time travel scheme to take over the world. Before you can say shake your booty, Austin cruises to 1975 and teams up with sexy Foxy Cleopatra to stop Dr. Evil and Goldmember from their mischievous mayhem. At number 2, we have some baby-faced frolics with Look Who's Talking, the movie that marked Travolta's comeback. He stars alongside Kirstie Alley as Mikey's mom, Olympia Dukakis, George Segal, Bruce Willis and others. Directed in Vancouver, Canada by Amy Heckerling with a budget of just $7 million, the movie was produced by TriStar Pictures and released on October 15, 1989. In the USA, the movie managed to gross over $140 million, with the worldwide figure reaching almost $300 million.
Is Mikey here?
Who are you?
I'm his father.
Father? Are you the sperm donor?
What do you mean sperm donor? I'm the kid's father.
No, he doesn't have a father. He's from artificial insemination.
That's ridiculous. Molly and I have been going out for years. How do you think I have the key?
I don't know, but we're changing it.
Hey.
Double-crossed, the lovelorn and very pregnant New York City accountant Molly gets into James's cab and rushes to the hospital to give birth, after a failed attempt at love with a sleazy and self-centered businessman. Suddenly, Molly is a single working mum, and what is even more disheartening, she has to embark on the nearly impossible quest to unearth the ideal father for her outspoken boy, Mikey. Could the perfect father be James, Mikey's favourite babysitter? And finally, the number 1 slot is held by the movie that marked Travolta as a Hollywood superstar, Grease. Filmed at Huntington Park High School in California with a budget of just $6 million, the movie was directed by Randall Kleiser and co-stars Olivia Newton-John, Stockard Channing, Jeff Conaway and Barry Pearl, amongst others. Just like Travolta's other big hit of the 70s, Grease was produced by Paramount Pictures and was released on June 18, 1978. John Travolta's top grossing movie made $190 million in the USA and getting on for $400 million worldwide. This is 1978, remember?
Sandy!
Daddy?
What are you doing here? I thought you were going back to Australia.
We had a change of plans.
I can't... Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is. Rockin' and rollin' and whatnot.
Danny?
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
What's the matter with you?
If you don't know the plot of this movie, then where have you been? It's California, 1958, and greaser Danny Zuko and Australian Sandy Olsen are in love. They spend time at the beach, but when they go back to school, what neither of them knows is that it will be attending Rydell High. Danny is the leader of the T-Birds, a group of black leather jacket wearing greasers, while Sandy hangs with the Pink Ladies, a group of pink-wearing girls led by Rizzo. When they meet at Rydell's first pet rally, Sandy discovers that Danny isn't the same Danny she remembers from the beach. Now remember, these are John's top grossing movies. Doesn't mean they're his best. That's a matter of opinion, of course. You may know of a few others that deserve to be in the list. Let me know in the comments if there are any John Travolta movies that you think should have been in his top 10.